At today's EA Play event, Ripple Effect, formerly known as Dice LA, unveiled the third main mode for this October's upcoming release of Battlefield 2042. Titled Battlefield Portal, the mode brings in every weapon, vehicle, gadget, and faction from the games Battlefield 1942, Battlefield Bad Company 2, and Battlefield 3 into the game. Through a focus on community-created modes, map variants, and servers, players can pit factions from each game against each other. We were lucky enough to be invited to EA's preview event earlier this week, where we get a deep dive behind the curtain at Ripple Effect to see just what Battlefield Portal has in store. Safe to say, we came away impressed. And one thing is for sure, this is a love letter to fans of the Battlefield franchise. 6 classic maps have been completely remade in the newest version of the Frostbite engine, and along with the 7 maps from the main game, the mode will offer up 13 in total for creators to utilize when tweaking the largest Battlefield sandbox we have ever seen. The maps are from Battlefield 1942, El Alamein, and the Battle of the Bulge. From Bad Company 2 are Arica Harbor and Valparaiso. Battlefield 3 brings us the Caspian Border and Noshar Canals maps. Each map has smaller sections of it available as a play space if you want something more up close and personal for your game type. There is no limit on player counts though, and you can have up to 128 players with shotguns going at it in a map 1/10 the size of a normal one if you prefer. Older maps that were never designed to hold 128 players have been lovingly brought back to life with additional areas to accommodate the increased player count. One example given was for the Battle of the Bulge. The tide level can be adjusted, providing more terrain for players to traverse. Each map has also been given full destructibility, even the maps from Battlefield 1942, which did not have them originally. And the Battlefield 3 maps have retained their classic Levolution events. Making use of these will be official dev-created and user-generated community experiences. The game will offer up 3 ways of finding game types. First is the developer's own creations. Next is a curated list of community modes. And finally is a search to go through and find things that best suit your tastes. The game modes available to creators will be Team Deathmatch, Conquest, and Rush. Battlefield Builder is the name of the incredibly powerful and comprehensive new toolset that has both a graphical UI and a full-on logic coding interface for community creators. Similar to the main multiplayer mode, there can be up to 128 players on PC and the new generation of consoles, and up to 64 players on the previous generation of Xbox One and PlayStation 4. Templates will be available along with a comprehensive guide for those interested in building playlists entirely from scratch. At launch, you are able to pit Battlefield eras against each other. An example shown was a Battlefield 1942 squad on one side pitted against a Bad Company 2 squad. When asked how they plan to balance this, the developers answered, "We don't. That will be up to the creators on how to compensate for the weaker equipment from the older eras." There is a mode called Classic Tuning to replicate the original era's time to kill. Examples for balancing given were things such as having more troops on the weaker side or restricting exactly what items the more modern teams could use. A comprehensive AI system is available to help backfill matches so that you can quickly get into the action after making your custom experience and test it out. The new specialists from the main 2042 modes will be available alongside each class system that the previous game offered. You will be able to earn experience in Battlefield Portal via a global system, so no matter which mode you're playing, you will always be progressing. There is no map or traditional terrain editor planned at launch, but the phrase, "This is the start of a journey," was used often to denote how community feedback will help shape what this mode becomes over the coming years and how that feedback will lead to updates for the logic editor over time. It's clear the focus for Battlefield 2042 is on what makes the series special in the first place: its expansive, bombastic multiplayer. For fans of the franchise, the options and potential on display here is tantalizing. And much like the developers, we are just as curious to see what players come up with. If you're especially keen, there's one last exciting piece of information. There will be an open beta for Battlefield 2042, with players that have pre-ordered the game getting earlier access. We were told they are aiming to have this in September. Battlefield 2042 releases on October 22nd with 7-day early access for Gold and Ultimate Editions. As always, thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you do subscribe, please tick that little bell so you know whenever we post. And we'll see you here next time on Xbox Era.